Hi guys, this is AC Gamer back with another video on Brown Dust 2. Now in today's video I've got an important video because I will be going over the best attackers in the game. Now I made a mini tier list, not like S tier, A tier, B tier. It's more like S tier, and then I have a tier for knockback characters because they have the ability to one shot, but not every single, you can't really use them in every single content. So that's why I decided to make a separate tier list for the knockback characters. Then I have a third tier, which is like A tier, and I believe those are like the characters that are also very good to go ahead and build and have as your damage dealers. Now I would definitely say you should prioritize the S tier characters more specifically because they can be used in every single content. You don't really need to take them out. And they're just absolutely amazing. Most of them are 4 stars and 3 stars, which makes it a lot easier for you guys to get dupes, which is absolutely amazing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more content on Brown Dust 2. If you guys don't want to miss out future content on the game, make sure you are subscribed, make sure that post notification is on, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button. It helps other people find this video so that they know which characters they should be building as their main damage dealer or a supportive damage dealer as well. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I should be showing you the little tier list I have made. However, like I said, I will be explaining why each individual characters are placed in this tier, so that you guys can understand why they're good and what a specific skill they do that is good. So let's start off with S tier. Now, the meta basically. This is Wiggle. Wiggle is insanely amazing, and honestly, the ability to deal huge AoE damage with this character is insane. Now, I just recently got him to level 43, and I'm probably going to stop at like level 50. But I think this character's damage is just a must-have because as you're progressing in content, this is like a cheat character, or like a cheese character. You don't think your other damage dealers can do huge AoE damage, or you want more characters in your team that can do huge AoE damage, then having Wiggle is going to be super important. Now, unfortunately for me, I haven't actually built him up that well with gear. I have his R gear over here. I simply just built him up with attack. So yes, but yeah, I just built him up physical attack. I don't think I need to say too much about Wiggle because you guys should already know how broken this character is, and if you guys are not building this character and you're not using this character, you are honestly playing this game so wrong. Now let's go over to the second character in the S tier. We have Cray or Cry. Now, how do I pronounce this guy's name? Tell me down in the comment section. Is it Cry or Cray? Anyways, with this character, he has 2 costumes that are extremely strong. Now, like I said in my tier list, I have a knockback tier list, which includes characters that can do knockback. The good thing about Cray or Cry is the ability of his costumes. Now, he has 2 costumes and both the costumes are good. This costume over here is specifically the one you mainly use as your main damage dealing costume, simply because it has huge AoE capability, huge damage as well. The ability to decrease defense as well by 50% for 4 turns is absolutely insane. Now, as a 4-star character, it's a lot easier to get dupes for him. Just like with Wiggle, who is a 3-star, it's a way more likely for you to get a lot more copies for 3-star Wiggle. Now with Cray over here, since he has 2 costumes, it might be a little bit harder to get the dupes you require, but it's definitely going to be better than using some of the 5-star damage dealers in the game. So this character insane. This specific one over here, insane damage dealing right now in the game. And if you take a look at his other costume, he has the ability to do knockback. Like I said, in certain content or most content, you can actually cheese through it with using this, which is actually quite good. But sometimes you just want to use this ability over here, the actual like pure damage dealing kit. Now that is Cray. And then the third character, surprisingly, is actually a 5-star character, and that character is Justia. Now, the good thing about Justia is the fact that she has multiple costumes. And lucky for you guys, when you play the game, they give you 2 of the costumes for free, and the banner currently available is for the other costume, which I highly recommend you guys summon for over the other banner currently. And Justia has the ability to do true physical damage, and currently right now light units has a 50% increased damage. This is like a world buff, and the game is giving us light characters, giving light characters the buff for this week or for this season, so that is great. She's going to be dealing extra damage right now in content, and honestly the AoE ability she has with her costumes are absolutely fantastic. Now, if you are re-rolling, I absolutely absolutely would recommend re-rolling to get this character and get multiple dupes for her. Now before her banner goes away, I should be able to get her to +2, but if I'm extremely lucky, +3. And if I get extremely, you know, god tier luck, +5, but that is very hard for me right now. I wish I had a gear as well. But anyways, just yeah, simply amazing damage dealer, true physical damage. You don't want to build her with crit damage, I don't think, as I believe true physical damage just, yeah, they don't scale with crit, I don't think, if I remember correctly. So if you build this character up, you definitely, yeah, maybe this is not the right thing for her. Just building pure attack would be probably better. Right now the gear isn't that important actually for characters, because you're trying to build SR gear. Luckily I've actually unlocked that feature, so I'm trying to steadily build up SR gear, and with your arc gear you don't really need to focus too much on it. Anyways, that is Justia, another solid S tier attacker. And then for the last character included in the S tier, we have this unit over here, which is, I've actually forgotten the name, Layla. Layla is honestly nearly as good as Cray in terms of damage from her ability. Now her skills, if I go over to this one, is kind of similar. This is actually quite similar to Cray's damage range, and her damage is actually nearly as good, if not as good, as Cray. And she also gives you SP based on the amount of targets you hit. So if you're able to hit 4 characters with this, you gain 4 SP for next turn, so it just helps you with the next turn. That damage is insane, and just in case you do need to do another turn, she's going to provide you with SP, and then you can actually use your ability. And I've started to use her alongside Cray just because I have now be able to do like huge AoE damage with both those characters, simply S tier characters. Now we're going to be moving over to the knockback characters. Like I said, I don't really want to spend too much time on them because I made a separate video on them. Knockback characters have the ability to one-shot, but I have realized late game they probably won't be as good, so that's why I decided to make an entire separate tier list or tier for them. But yeah, character like Rue over here, absolutely amazing for knockback. If I remember correctly, Emma, not only does she have knockback, she also has good amounts of damage, so I didn't really know where to put her in the tier list. But if I was not going to include this costume over here, sorry, the knockback one, this one over here, she would be A tier for damage, just because you do need to prop this up, and once you prop this you get 500% increase in attack, and then the next turn your normal damage is going to be absolutely insane. So this is actually very good, and then in addition she has the ability to do knockback as well, so 2-in-1 character, just like Cray. But because you have to set this character up before she can do good damage, I feel like she's an A tier in terms of this costume over here, but I included her in the knockback tier. Next up, we do have another 5-star costume or character. I included her because I knew she's going to be actually pretty good for knockback, but because she's a 5-star character, right now you won't have enough dupes to actually fully utilize her. But she basically costs 0 SP if you think about it, but then again you have to use those free SP you acquire the next turn, so you're not immediately using this SP, so a little bit of an issue with her. But she's actually good for knockback abilities, but that's why she's just on that separate list. And we also have another knockback character who is a 3-star unit known as Fred. Is it Fred? Yeah, Fred. So I included him in this in that tier as well. And now the A tier are your main proper damage dealers as well. So the first one I put was forgotten the name, Maria. Maria's damage is actually quite good. Now someone did mention that I can't say the character's name, but the current other banner in the game, she also has the same attack range as this character, and a lot of people say that since you get one copy or the costume for free, one of our character for free, and then you get a costume, essentially she has a lot of costumes, so you can actually use her in game. But this character is a free 4 SP cost character, free turn cooldown, magic damage, 200% in magical attack as well. I feel like this character damage is quite good. Now I am probably just focusing on physical attackers, so I don't really want to build too many magical characters because I won't actually fully utilize them. But yeah, as a magical attacker, she's actually one of the strongest one of the few strong magic attackers in the game. So following after Miria, the next character I added in this list is Jaden, an otaku. Now the reason why I added Jaden is not only because of his attack. I know this is meant to focus on attack, but because he has 2 costumes, you can basically switch between both of the skills, which makes him even better. But he also has an AoE ability with this attack. Attacks 3 times. Attack deals 137 magical attack based off of 170 of magical attack. Now the SP requirement is still quite kind of high at 5, but the damage is actually quite good. But out of all the characters I mentioned so far, I would say in terms of damage is probably your least priority right now. Definitely build the other ones I've mentioned, but he's also a character that actually does good damage, so I wanted to include him in this video. So that is Jaden. The next character we're going to be talking about is another character that is not only good for attack but also has supportive capability, and that is Sami, or Sami, sorry. Now Sami has 2 costumes just like Jaden. One of them is a healer type or supportive type, and the other one can actually do good amount of damage. And this one over here actually, like I said, does good amount of damage. I really do use this character though in terms of this costume. I mainly focus more on the buffing capability of her, but this character over here can actually do good amount of damage, so worth building. Then again, you are definitely building Sami just because of this costume over here. But if you have this character and you want to, and you're wondering whether she's actually good for damage, then my answer is absolutely yes. Now I added what's his face? I added him in A tier. Now I will say this, out of all the characters I mentioned, he's definitely your least priority right now, simply because you won't really use him that much, honestly, because I've mentioned so many attackers right now. All of them are just better than him because they have AoE capability, but I can't deny that his damage is actually quite good, and in the future his potential will increase as well, simply because he's a character with true damage. True damage is absolutely insane at being able to ignore defense. And right now I've noticed that the reason why my Justia might have been dealing more damage than Alec is simply because she has that 50% buff. But I won't lie, Alec does have good amount of damage, but I would say early on you definitely don't want to build him, or you don't want to use him, simply because you would rather use that investment or that materials you would use for him to build the other S tier characters I mentioned. And honestly, you can only use 5 characters in a team. 2 slots will be covered by supportive character. One of them will be frontline, or maybe 3 attackers, and I've already mentioned like 5 already, or 6 attackers. And honestly, don't build Alec, even though I put him in A tier. I won't deny his attacking ability, but there is definitely better options. And that is it for my list. I did add a B tier in this video as well, but I didn't really want to talk too much about them because I don't actually use them that much, so I'm not really too familiar with what they do or how good their damage is actually, except what's her face. Now many people actually keep asking me about this character, I don't know why, but Celia, I actually do use her. She is in B tier, I put her there. She is the one on the left. That's her other costume, but I don't think her damage is good. I only use her when I'm farming low stage because she has AoE ability, but when it's like harder content, for some reason her damage just doesn't compute. It doesn't deal good amount of damage, so I don't actually think she's that good for damage right now. I even have her at +2, and honestly I don't think her damage is that good. And the rest of the tier is like, I don't know, because I simply haven't used them. I haven't tested them out for damage, or simply because I already know they're not a damage dealer, so they shouldn't be added. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about in today's video. I've gone over a few characters that are very, very strong as your main damage dealer and you should focus on. Main standouts is Wiggle, Cray or Cry, and Justia and Layla. Those are the main standouts for damage dealer. If you don't have them, then you can go ahead and build some of the A tier characters I said, and Alec will be the last one to pick because he doesn't do AoE, but in terms of damage he's actually quite good, but you will rarely use him. I built him up to level 60 and I don't use him at all actually, so I kind of made a mistake with this account. I've seen a lot of people starting up a new account after like a lot of people realize that Alec isn't the character you want to go for, or you want to build, and there's a new strategy in terms of re-rolling. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more content on Brown Dust 2. It's been your boy AC Gamer, and I'm out.